get comfortable. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hey, Fred. Just writing down some notes. I don't have a lot tonight. Hey, Chica. How are you? If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. If I don't write this stuff down, I forget to talk about it. So, hello, hello. I am well. How are you? Thank you for the badge. Did you see my dancing video today? It seems to be a hit across all my platforms. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Everybody's like, you need to do that more. I'm like, I do? Oh. Well, you know, I don't know how many times it should be a hit. Well, you know, I don't know how many times on my live I've mentioned, you know, I don't go on the weekends because I used to go dancing with my friend. And so everybody's like, you should go live when you're out dancing. And I'm like, no, there's too many people. It's really weird and awkward, right? And so I've been thinking about doing a dance video, and then I'm technologically challenged. So it was funny because my guide gave me that song the other day, and she's like, you need to do a dance video. And I was like, I wasn't sure how to do it. And then it hit me today when I was at the park. I was watching this other video, and I was like, well, you just turn the music on like they have in the background if you want music while you're talking. And I'm like, that's how you do it. But I didn't have my tripod with me, so I didn't have the best angle. I had to prop my phone up with a stick. But it worked, I guess. We need to enjoy life. Oh, yes, we do. We all do need to enjoy life a lot more. Life is so short. You're so right, Fred. And thank you. Like I said, honestly, you know, I was having a moment, to be honest with you all. I was having a moment. And this whole week, the theme has been, you know, when you're frustrated or whatever, just dance, right? And that's why she gave me the song the other day. And so when I had gotten to the park, I was sitting in my car going to have a moment. I thought I was going to have a moment. And I'm like, no, because I just had good makeup put on, and I was like, you're going to ruin your makeup if you do that. And so I stopped myself from crying in the car, and then I'm like, just get out, go up into the park, do your videos, you'll be fine. And when I got up there, it's like I was having a rough morning mentally. I was not in a good spot mentally this morning. And so I don't have a lot to talk about tonight, but that was one of the things my guide was like, talk about resilience, right? Being resilient, you know, maintaining that positive mindset, even when it's hard, you know? And let me tell you, today was hard. And I knew when I sat at that table today and I saw that guy with the video, and it dawned on me how to do it. And I was like, I knew I had two choices. It's okay. I appreciate that though. Shop with me. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. But I knew sitting at that table today that I had two choices, right? Because I've been working really hard the last couple months at wrangling my thoughts. And when I'm having a down or a negative thought, to try to replace that with positive and not go into that old story, right? That old mindset. And so when I sat at that table today, I knew I had two choices. I could cry or I could dance. And I decided I was going to dance. So y'all finally got to see me dance. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. And I appreciate all the good comments today. I appreciate you all so much. Aw, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Like I said, I don't have a lot to talk about, but she did tell me, she's like, resilience, maintaining a positive mindset, even when we don't want to, sometimes we need to, right? We need to not have that pity party, and I say all the time on here, it's okay to have a moment, just don't unpack and live there. And it would have been okay if I would have had a moment today, and I guess I'll talk a little bit about what that moment was about, because I think it's important to share. And my guide's telling me, share, share, share. She's been telling me that the last half an hour. So if you're just hopping on and you're new, let me first introduce myself. My name is Renee and I'm from California. I just moved here from South Dakota, so I got to get in the habit of saying that. And if you're not familiar with my story, so I started my TikTok in March of 2024. And the reason I started my TikTok is because in September of 2023, my husband unalived himself. And my whole world of 32 years imploded because of his one choice. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. Basically, everything just left with him. My life, and thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to try and get through this without crying tonight. I haven't got emotional about this in a while, but it kind of goes along with today, what was going on in my head in the car. And so basically, what came from that is once I decided I was going to stay on this planet, if you're not familiar with my story, I had to find a way to heal myself because my husband didn't leave me in a great spot financially. And so I knew that therapy was out, and I'm the weird girl. I'm the odd girl out always, the unique girl. And so I knew that group therapy wasn't going to work for me either. But I knew if I was going to stay on this planet, I had to find a way to heal myself because, Samantha, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. And so, basically, like I said, I knew group therapy was out, and people would say to me, Renee, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I had never lived an adult life without my husband. We met when I was 16, and so I didn't know how to do that. I barely could breathe. And so, like I said, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I have to figure out how to do this. I have to figure out how to heal. And so I deep dived into meditation and journaling, and I would sit in nature and I would journal and I would cry and I would meditate. I basically became a hermit and just meditated all the time. I was meditating several times a day and journaling. And in that meditation is when I discovered that I had abilities. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on with us, tell us who you are, where you're from. And in that meditation, I started getting messages. Even though I had been getting messages before, I just didn't exactly know what was happening to me. And I started realizing that I had abilities. And that's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my spirit guides. Or I should say they started talking to me, although they had been. And they slowly breadcrumbed me to my purpose, which was to be here with all of you, to help other people through their loss and their traumas. And so that year in December, my guide said, you need to get on social media and you need to start sharing your story. And I'm like, no. I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how to make a reel because I'm very technologically challenged. And I went to Christmas that year and my granddaughter was like 12, almost 13. And I said, can you show Grandma how to make a reel? Because I don't know how to do that. I had done lives on Facebook, but I never had made a reel. And so my granddaughter showed me, and I drug my feet for another couple months. And then finally, towards the end of January, I started doing reels for my Facebook and Instagram. And I still wasn't on TikTok yet. And then finally, the end of February, my guide's like, you need to be on TikTok. And I'm like, I don't want to be on TikTok. And So my grandkids all came in March because my grandson was born. My daughter was having a baby. And so all my grandkids were there. And I said, can you guys all help grandma set up a TikTok? Because I don't know how to do that. And so they're like, they thought that was just great, right? Grandma's going to get on TikTok. Now they all laugh because grandma has more followers than they do. But anyway, so I started my TikTok, and then that's really when my journey really began. And so where I'm going with this is that I swore, though, when I started my social media that I would always be the authentic me, right? Would never be somebody that I'm not, because that's just not me. And so I get on here a lot of times and I share my experiences. And a lot of times when I'm on a live and I'm doing a topic, generally that topic is for me too, y'all. You know, my guides, they always know what I need when I need it, because then they're like, oh, you're going to talk about this tonight, because they know I need to hear it too, right? So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. I think, Chica, I think you're the only one left. I think I scared everybody else away. But anyway, so yeah, so a lot of times when I'm going through something, my guides will be like, you need to get on and share. You need to talk about it, because then people know that they're not alone, right? And yeah, because I'll put this on my YouTube so other people will see it. But you know, it's important for people to know that you're not alone, right? We all have experiences. And so anyway, so I was sitting in my car, and it just happens at random times sometimes, right? Like I was in my car and I had just gotten to the park. Exactly. We all struggle, right? And it's good to know we're not alone. And this car drove by, and if you're not familiar with my story, so like I said, when my husband left, my whole world of 32 years crumbled, and I lost everything, my car, my camper, everything, which was fine, because for me it was just stuff, right? But at the same time, by losing those things, it wasn't the car that I lost, it was what the car represented, right? The life that I had before the car was gone, right? I'm sorry. I try never to get emotional on here. And so when the lady drove by, it was like, you know, I'm going to be 51 next week. And I should be established. And that was me. I had that life. I had that once. Sorry. And I had that life, and it all imploded. I know. But so yeah, so I was just having a moment, and like I said, I didn't want to ruin my makeup, because I just put makeup on because I went to talk to somebody about a job. So I had just put fresh makeup on, and I was like, no, you're not going to ruin your makeup because you got to go do your videos, right? And so I I chose not to cry in the car, and I walked up to the park to do my videos, and I did my first video. And I was sitting there still kind of feeling sorry for myself, I guess you could say, right? And like I said, she had given me the song the other day, because the running theme this week was, you know, when you're struggling, just dance, right? When you're having a bad day, just dance. And but I didn't do it the other day because I wasn't sure how to do it. And so I just happened to click, I don't know, it was like an Instagram reel or something came up, or maybe it was even a TikTok. I think it was a TikTok reel. And the guy had music playing in the background, and he was doing singing or whatever. And I was like, well, duh, Renee, that's how you do it, right? When we do a video, usually when I share, it asks if you want, you know, it'll put on sound or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's simple enough, right? And I had been playing around kind of with the timer thing before, trying to figure that out. And so I'm like, you can do this. So I sat there and I was like, I have two choices. I can sit here and I can have a pity party for myself, or I can just dance and I can put that song out that everybody was supposed to hear the other day that I didn't know how to do. And we can just dance and do the running theme for the week, right? When you're struggling, when you're frustrated, when you're having a bad day, just dance. Because it does make it better. At least it makes me feel better. Anyway, so yeah, so I just got up and I had leaned it up against the post initially, and it wasn't the right angle, so I went and found a stick and then I propped it up. I figured out how to prop it up. And so I'm like, okay. And I just took one take. I just did it, you know, and my guides have told me, because I'm a perfectionist, I'm an A personality, guys. So I'm the type of person, if I don't feel it looks right or my hair is wrong or whatever, right? Like I'll redo it sometimes. And I was like, nope, that's just getting the first cut, the real raw, whatever. However it turns out, I had my earbuds in. I had my keys in my pocket and I hurried up and threw them before the timer went off. But it's like, no, we're just going to dance today. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And it's going to come out how it's going to come out. And so, yeah. So I just danced. And then I just hit post. And I didn't think twice about it. So that's kind of the story behind the dance video today. That was not a normal thing for me. Although I've had such good response and a lot of people asking me to do that again. So maybe once a week I'll find a song that kind of goes with the theme of what she's having me put out, and we'll do the dance again. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, you know, and that's, I know that that's part of my journey, right? That's part of being on here and sharing my story, and I know I'm the guinea pig here. I've known that for the last 2 years last year and a half, whenever it's been that I've been putting out reels. I know that I'm the guinea pig, and that it's going to be raw and it's going to go out, and I just accept that, because I feel if I can be me and I can just, you know, be raw, then people see that they're not alone. And, you know, if it helps one person, then it helps one person, you know. So it's all worth it then. And everything that I lost and went through was all worth it. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, I don't have a lot to talk about tonight. She had just given me resilience, right? And I've had to learn to be resilient in the last 2 years. And that's not always easy. Authenticity is what we should all strive for. We really should, you know, and my guide has me put out videos a lot about taking off the mask, right? Alexander, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. And thank you for the likes. But she has me put out videos a lot. Oh, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. About just, you know, taking off the mask and being the authentic you, right? I am well, actually. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And you? Naughty Dog 69, are you back? And there he is with the rose. Thank you so much. You don't know how much I needed those roses tonight, you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. So much. And all the love I get from you guys. I appreciate it a lot. So, now we're kind of done talking about me and my lovely dance video. Does anybody... Hi, how are you? Thank you for the badges. Oh, thank you for the roses so very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all the roses. Goodness gracious. I appreciate that. Diamond. Is it Diamond? I can't quite read the rest of it. Kelly. Hey, you're back. I see that. Did you get my message that I sent back to you? I'm glad that you're back. Tonight we're just kind of chatting, but a little bit talking about resilience, and the running theme for the week, if you've missed some of my videos, was when you're frustrated or you're angry or you're just having a bad day, to just dance. So today I did that. So I put out a dance video if you missed it. If you want a good laugh, go check it out. So my question for you guys, we've still got about a half an hour if you guys want to talk. Did anybody have a loss or anything they need to talk about tonight? Anything they need to vent about? My page is your page. You're never interrupting. That's what it's here for. Missing my mom a lot lately. Well, if you'd like to talk about it, we can sure talk about it. You missed it? Well, you'll have to go check it out. It's over on my page. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you guys could just tap that screen too and give me some likes, show me some love. That really does help me out too. I appreciate that. Sorry, my dad. He's older. He doesn't get it when I tell him that I'm going live, and he'll just text me anyway. I'm going to pick up. I know. I understand. I understand. And the thing is the beauty of it now with her being on the other side of the veil, Kelly, is that you don't even have to pick up the phone and talk to her. Just talk to her. She can hear you. Now you don't need the phone. You do understand that, right? Is that you don't need the phone now to talk to her. You can just talk to her because she hears you. Has anybody else had anything else they need, a loss or anything they would want to talk about tonight? How was everybody's day? Kind of just already ranted and told you about mine. I should say my morning. Happy? Oh, that's great. Your day was happy? That's awesome. It's always nice when I hear somebody had a happy day. And I hope sometimes I make people's day happy. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Anybody else? Hopefully comments are coming through. Chica, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate you so much. Aw, I try to be. That's my goal, is to be genuine and raw, and I'm just, you get what you see is what you get, right? And I'm the authentic me, and you'll never get anything other than that. I don't know how to be fake, so happy, nice to meet me. Well, happy, nice to meet you too. So does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about tonight? Otherwise, we're going to have a really short live tonight. Anybody? Okay, well, while I'm waiting to see if anybody's going to comment, if you're new here, like I said, if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. If you're not familiar, I have a YouTube channel also that's under Scorpio Medium. So if you're not a subscriber and I would love it if you went over there. I guess if I could learn how to talk, I would love it if you went over there and subscribed. You'll find all the videos that I upload here over there. The only difference is that when I go live, and if you like my lives and you miss one, you can check them out over there. I upload them over there. Georgia, welcome. Glad to have you here. So yeah, you can check out my lives over there on my YouTube, which is Scorpio Medium. If you're interested in a reading with somebody who's crossed over, they're $40 for an hour. You can find my email down in the bio below. Send me an email. That's how I set those up. I am from California. Smile John 00721. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. And all the likes. I appreciate that as well. So if you're not familiar with my schedule, I just changed it. I'm here Monday through Thursday, 6:30 Pacific time, live, Monday through Thursday. Generally, if I'm not going to make it, I will put a post that I'm not going to make it on. But I try to be consistent as possible. So Monday through Thursday, 6:30 Pacific time. And then also you'll find my Venmo down below. And if you enjoy my content and you would like to leave me a tip, never expected, but always appreciated, you can check out my Venmo down below and you can send me a tip down there. So that's pretty much all I have. Milka Millie, thank you for the badge. Blue Moon Flower, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Vin Diesel private account. Oh, I'm sure. Hi. Thank you for all the likes, guys. I appreciate that. Okay, does anybody else have, if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Does anybody else have a loss or anything they need to talk about or get off their chest tonight? Go check out other content. Thanks. Okay. Anybody? Like I said, this page is your page, so if you've got something you need to get off your chest or vent about, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. SmileJohn00721. Thank you, thank you. That really does help me. I appreciate it. What time here? It is 6:56 p.m. And that's one other thing I forgot. And so on Wednesday nights, we are doing mini reads still at 6:30 Pacific time. The only difference is we've changed that. We're not reading for people who have crossed over. If you want one of those readings, like I said, you have to go email me. Those are $40 for an hour. And you can email me to set that up. We're just doing psychic questions on Wednesday nights because it makes it go so much quicker and I can get through a lot more people. It's just too hard when I'm trying to read and pull in people from the other side. I've had several orbs this week on my lives. But it's just too hard because as soon as somebody says, hey, can you ask about my grandma and my uncle and my mom and my brother and my mom, whatever. So everybody who asks in there, all of your people come at me at the same time. And those people on the other side who crossed over, they're just so excited because they finally somebody can hear them and they can give you their message. And then it just like muddles my brain and I don't know who I'm pulling in or who's saying what. And it makes it too hard on a live. I just can't do it. And my guides are wanting me really to focus more on my psychic abilities because I always focus more on my mediumship. So that's why we're only doing psychic questions now. But yeah. I am from California. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Does anybody have a loss or anything they would like to talk about? Or just vent from their day? How was everybody's day? Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Okay, guys. Well, if nobody has anything they need to talk about tonight, anybody? Okay, well, today's Thursday, so I won't be back until Monday. Sometimes I'll hop on a weekend if I'm bored. Bubba, thank you for the follow. But otherwise, I'll be back here on Monday at 6:30. Good morning. Is it morning time where you are, Black Diamond? It is 6:59 p.m. here in California. I'm from California. Thank you for the badge. I'm doing well. Thank you, Bubba. And where are you from? It's nice to meet you too. Thank you for all the hearts. If it's still you, Smile John, sending them. 3:59 a.m. Where are you at? Can I ask? Mech, is it Mech? Thank you for the follow. Oh, hold on. I am from Gambia in West Africa on YouTube. From Nigeria. May I make friends with you? Please pay attention to me. I can give you some surprise. Oh, okay. Well, actually, I'm about to hop off if nobody has anything else they need to talk about tonight. Susie, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. All right, guys. Well, I will be back here on Monday with a new topic, hopefully. I hope you all have a great weekend. You stay safe and remember to make tomorrow great because it's a choice. And until we meet again.